Can't get enough of Kelly and Ramya?
We're now on YouTube for you to indulge in highlights from our show.
Who knew an entire library could fit inside your pocket? I'm Ryan Hui. This is the Chatty Bookshelf, where we talk audiobook trends, news, and author interviews.
Hey Ryan, nice to have you.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me back. And just because Ramya said that summer is over, I wanted to mention, sorry kids, but there are a lot of sales happening out there for your back to school. It seems like a big time for new releases and new everything coming out. So check out your favorite platform to buy books off of, whether it's ebooks, audiobooks, or hardcovers or paperbacks. They're all big sales everywhere, but I'm very excited to be welcoming back again to talk about her brand new novel that is just released. And by the way, it is fantastic. Only One Survives. The devilish and clever Hannah Mary McKinnon. Thank you so much for being a friend of the show and welcome back.
Clever, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Of course. You've been up to quite a bit since the last time we chatted on air, but can you tell us a little bit about this new release, Only One Survives?
Yes, with pleasure. So Only One Survives is the story about the rise and very violent demise of the all-female pop rock group called the Bittersweet, when, after a fatal car crash, one of the members, maybe more of the members, decide that the band is now worth more dead than alive. So that is the elevator pitch for Only One Survives.
Another fantastic idea from the mind of Hannah Mary McKinnon. I love it. It's such a great story, and everybody check it out. But you put a lot of hard work, as you do, into all of your books, but especially with this one. Can you give us a little bit of some of the hard work you did off script? There's a whole lot of goodies out there that are available, Easter eggs and things for not only superfans, but everybody, if you could tell us about those.
Yes, of course, with pleasure. So I wanted to do something to enhance the experience of this book. And because it's a thriller set in the music world, and I mention songs written by the Bittersweet, that's the name of the band, I thought, well, I might as well pen some lyrics. So I did. So we have this beautiful and fun bonus material package that is on my website, hannahmarymckinnon.com, which has a reader letter, it has a playlist with a Spotify link, it has the the lyrics to 6 songs that are mentioned in the book, and there's a more in-depth interview with me about the book as well. It's really good fun, and HarperCollins, my publisher, did such a lovely job of pulling all of that together, and it's free. It's just to enhance the experience of the book.
Bringing the universe to us. That's so smart.
And so tell me this, really interesting to me. So now that you've written books and lyrics, which is harder?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Writing lyrics was really difficult because I'm not musically inclined. I was actually kindly asked to leave the school band when I was about 10 because I couldn't play the recorder properly, couldn't read music properly. So that's certainly not my strong suit. So it was something that I needed to go and figure out, deconstruct a few songs basically to understand how they're written, how they're put together. So that was very challenging. The bonus part, I guess, the good part is that song lyrics are considerably shorter, but still very, very difficult. That's for sure.
Well, the crowd has spoken and they love it. And I know just over a week ago, you had an in-person book launch at Type Books in Toronto. What was it like meeting up with the fans again, doing things in person, especially in Toronto?
It was amazing because my last in-person book launch was in 2019 for Her Secret Son. So we're going back quite some time. And since then, I've always had online launches, and I continue to do online launches because geography and ability to get somewhere don't really matter as much, you know. So geography doesn't come into play when it's online and everyone can join. So I will continue doing online launches. But there's something definitely very special about being in person at a bookstore and meeting people, you know, face to face. It was so lovely. It was well attended. The people are so gracious. And Type Books was a fantastic location. So to be repeated, I hope.
It must be such a different dynamic, and I love that you spend the time to give back to your fans and to meet them and tell them all about you know, your writing process, your life, and to tell them about the great books and all the upcoming things you have going on. It's really says something about you as a person and you as an author. So kudos to you.
Thank
And
you.
here I have, we mentioned it earlier, the name The Bittersweet. That's the name of the band in the book. Where did that come from?
So the Bittersweet, I think the name really popped into my head a little bit. I must have been mulling it around, you know, my subconscious getting up to its old tricks and doing its work. But it really encapsulates the relationship between the two founding members, Vienna and Madison, in the book, and their relationship. The dynamic of that relationship is very bittersweet because they love each other, but there's also jealousy involved, so it's very complicated. So having the word bittersweet really fit the story really, really well. And I wanted a band name with a the, because it just gave it more gravitas in a way, I guess.
I feel like this might have been one of those ideas where it just pops to you in the shower or wakes you from a sleep at 3 a.m. Or something like that, where it just kind of comes to your head. But it's such a great title for a band, and it fits so well with the story. It gives it that added little effect. So
Thank
we
you.
wouldn't
Thank
be
you.
the no problem. You did it, and I'm just reporting back after what I've listened to. So we wouldn't be the Chatty Bookshelf though if we didn't ask about the performance and the performer. Can you tell us everything about that process and the performer?
Oh, with pleasure. So the narrator is Amy Hall, and she's fantastic. She's South California based. She's narrated umpteen books, and I was listening to different voices, and I found hers so compelling and so interesting. And I'm one of those authors who listens to their audiobooks. I find it very informative. And actually, when I listen to my audiobooks, I don't see it as my work anymore. It's their performance, it's the narrator's performance. And she's extraordinary. She's just the intonation, the emotion, the whole performance is 10 out of 10. I think she's fantastic, and I'm hoping to work with her again in the future.
The voice that she gives to the character is very distinguishable, and it adds something there too if we're talking about added value. My favorite question coming up here, and I've asked you this before as you're a returning guest to the show, but maybe what was your favorite scene that you wrote in the book? And at the time, did you know it was your favorite scene, or did it become your favorite scene afterwards?
That's such a great question, Ryan. So the book has different types of media. This is something that I haven't done before. So it has blog entries, aside from the regular narrative, you know, regular chapters. There are blog entries, there are news articles, a few of them peppered throughout, and also radio show transcripts and social media comments. And I have to say that as I was writing the radio show transcripts, I thought, this is great. I'm loving this because I can just focus on writing down what I hear these radio show hosts saying to one another. And it was really fun to do. It was something I hadn't done before. And I thoroughly enjoyed that process. So I think there are two or three transcripts. There's not that many, but those chapters were definitely my favorite. But in terms of a scene, there's a scene at a pub where Madison Vienna play their first gig in their initial band called MV at the Flat Cat pub in Brooklyn. And the energy and the vibe of that place, I wished it were real. I wish it were a real pub because I'd want to go.
Well, we want to congratulate you and also not put you on the spot here, and we want you to celebrate this. But before we switch gears, I have one more question here about the book, or I guess about your career even. Is it all a secret, or is there anything new coming down the pipeline? Are you allowed to say anything, or is it not quite for listeners' ears yet?
Oh, I can tell you. I can tell you everything. So first in October we have a second holiday romantic comedy under my pseudonym Holly Cassidy that releases called The Christmas Countdown. So I'm very excited about that one. And we just announced last week my next thriller, which will publish as Hannah Mary McKinnon in the fall of 2025, called A Killer Motive. And that one features a true crime podcast host, a missing brother, and an abductor who challenges the podcast host to find him.
We want it now. Can you speed it up? No, I'm not rushing you. No pressure, but that does sound really good, and it kind of builds up what we got going on here. But this is really interesting to me, and I wanted to switch gears just quickly here because I know you've been doing this for quite some time, but this is for all you Facebook users out there. So Hannah and her friend Hank who is also an author, they have a group called First Chapter Fun. Can you tell us a little bit about the group?
I'd love to, yes. So First Chapter Fun, we're on Facebook and also on Instagram. And every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, we read the first chapter, sometimes more than one chapter if it's a short one, or the prologue, depending, of a different book. So not ours, unless it's pub week, in which case we do read from ours, of course. But otherwise, we introduce our viewers to authors who are new books or authors and books that are new to them. And as the name would imply, First Chapter Fun, it really is a lot of fun because the authors join in the comments. So viewers can ask the authors questions about their process, or maybe the title or the inspiration, or whatever they would like to know from the author. So it's every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and Instagram Live. Come join us. It's fun.
The group of people in that, some of the chats and some of the comments and stuff are so great in there, and I've joined in a few times, but usually I'm watching after the fact. But how did this kind of get started? Like, where did the idea come from, and how did you guys get going on this?
It was really a lightning bolt moment, I think, on March 16th. I even know the day, 2020, when COVID was fast approaching and lockdowns were here. And there are a bunch of us on a messenger chat, bunch of authors on a messenger chat, because we had books coming out and everything was shutting down and, the whole world was scary. And I floated the idea of reading the first chapter of their books on Facebook and Instagram. And I figured, a few people might want to join. And I think I read 55 days in a row, 7 days a week, every day. And then Hank joined and we read twice a week. And then as the world slowly returned back to normal, we dropped it down to once a week, so every Tuesday. And it's been going ever since. It's been 4.5 years, which is barely believable. I think we're at about 385 episodes or something like that. So it's been really
impressive.
Extraordinary. Thank you. It's extraordinary. People, we said, Hank and I said we continue providing people come back, and they do. So we've just kept going.
Oh, thank you so much. And really quickly, how do you guys choose the books?
It's a combination of authors we know, authors who contact us, publishers who contact us, agents who contact us. So it really is a combination of all of those.
Oh, amazing. And thank you so much for joining us. Everybody go join First Chapter Fun on Instagram and Facebook, but more importantly, go buy Only One Survives everywhere. But I prefer the audio and I suggest the audio, but thank you so much. Congratulations, Hannah, on another successful launch and everything you got going on in the future. You are a very sincere friend to the show, so please, you're welcome back anytime. And we wish you the best of luck on this adventure you got going on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. It's always such a pleasure.
Thanks for watching.
You can catch Kelly and Ramya weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on AMI.